What is happening, guys? So it's Keep On Reefing Thursday. It's live. It's 7:30. We're going live, and I got this guy right here with me. I got Logan from Reef Breeders, and we're talking about Keep On Reefing coming up May 4th, but not just Keep On Reefing. What I want to get into tonight is just trade shows in general. Right now, it is trade show season. You got Rap Orlando coming up, you got Aquashella, you got Keep On Reefing, you got so many trade shows coming around. When was the last one you just did?
Frag Farmers Market.
Oh yeah?
Weeks ago, yeah.
Like that was like Frag Farmers Market was like the one that like set it off. Like that's what I love about Frag Farmers. It's like you don't know what to expect, and it really starts to show. How was FFM for you?
Oh, it was great. It was like just a flurry of activity the whole time. I mean, I hardly had a minute to walk away to get lunch or anything. I was just hanging out. It was great to meet. Like, I love doing these local shows. I meet people who've been like my customers since the beginning. When I was out of my parents' garage, just going back to when I was like a 14-year-old kid. Like some of those original customers always come, say hi. So that's awesome to see. Great to see the local community grow so much too, and just to see Frag Farmers Market grow as well.
It's massive now.
Yeah,
they had over 1,400 people for one day. That is gigantic.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, the days of, like, I remember the days when I couldn't wait to get into FFM or to try that or to be able to, do it. Well, you're a one-man guy. Like,
yeah.
I can't even imagine, like, doing that anymore.
On the sales end, yeah.
Yeah, like, because, like, I would even want to know, like, for a trade show, so you get to the show, like FFM, it's slammed. Do you even get a chance to even walk around?
At the very beginning during setup, I walk around, and at the very end during breakdown, I walk around. Which works for me because during setup, there's always vendors who need something, and I'm the guy who has all the equipment, right? So I walk around. If vendor's in a pinch, I have a pump for you, I have lights for you, I have whatever you need to get your system running and looking great tomorrow for the show. And then at breakdown too, I have different equipment that you could bring back for your shop. I like to give a lot of our retailers,
for
deals
retailers
and stuff like
at
that.
trade shows, you must see a lot of that. Like, hey, Logan, I want to take that bag, take this bag.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then that's the other thing too. Do you feel like doing trade shows, that's good advertisement for you? Do you feel like that's one of the main advertisements? Why? What for? Like, what do you feel like? Why do you like to do trade shows?
Well, you have that social media going, right? So you're on Facebook all the time. I'm on Facebook a decent amount. I make a bunch of instructional videos. I do a lot of outreach. I talk to a lot of customers directly. I talk to a lot of customers through email, phone. And when you have a customer who's working on making a decision, they're looking. They know that they want another light. They want pumps or something like that. And it's great to be able to come to a show. Like when I go all around the country and you have people who they're researching my company, they're looking at my products. And getting the opportunity to meet that customer is a huge deal. You can meet them in person, and face to face is like a completely different ball game compared to just going back and forth through email or posting videos on Facebook. So it's really taking e-commerce and putting like more of a human element to it. And that's what a lot of people don't realize, is that it's not just like a website. I sell to a lot of retailers around the country. I sell direct to customers. So yeah, basically that's.
I like how you're talking about that. So like, especially like e-commerce sites or anybody like that, when you sell online, I love trade shows because I get to meet people. I get to talk on to Facebook, Instagram, on YouTube, and I get to meet them in person, and that for me is like the coolest thing. But on top of it, like when you get into those trade shows and you're meeting those people, a lot of people I think that you always have somebody else doing the work or this person's, and they don't realize like Logan's the guy who's packing your stuff up. He's the one who's putting your order in the box. Like, much?
I'm not anymore. So
well,
I have employees who do all that stuff. But in terms of like the sales, like I'm the guy who emails most of my customers back. I'm the guy who does a lot of the research and finding new products, figuring out how to repair them. What goes into like the nitty gritty of the product, the design, the science behind it. And in addition to that, I do a lot of the marketing.
And the customer service, too.
Yeah. Marketing, customer service, like that's the biggest part of my job.
That's actually my favorite. I gotta say, like that was like for me that got me into Reef Breeders was the customer service. Like I love how diehard you go. Like if something goes wrong, you're always right there to fix it. Do you feel like as you built the company, that was such like your massive strong point? You're like, I'm gonna give the best customer service I possibly can. Was that like how?
That's the biggest thing. let's be real, as an e-commerce company,
Yep.
You could buy anything on Amazon, bulk reef supply, whatever. But you know, when you're getting something from a company like that, you know, the best that they could do is either, okay, I'm gonna send you an RMA, or okay, I'm gonna put you in touch with the company who builds this product, who might get back to you, but they're manufacturers, so they're not really, you know, their main focus isn't end user warranty service. Their main focus is, okay, I want to sell a pallet to, you know, whatever, you know, big retailer. So what I do is I kind of cut the middleman. I am, you know, I'm the manufacturer and I'm the distributor. And on top of that, I service a lot of the warranty. So that way you have that whole, the whole supply chain is kind of condensed into one singular point, where I could be so effective in knowing, you know, the product from the development phase to the marketing phase to, you know, running it on customers' tanks. I know, you know, the different issues and, you know, just little nuances that are coming in with different products and how to service people who, you know, who have difficulty programming things like, I mean, for example, like the Wi-Fi dosing pumps. I'm not the only retailer for those, but you know, I'm the biggest retailer for them, just because if something goes wrong, I know how to fix it. I know how to, you know, repair these things, and I know how, you know, I know the different, you know, little things that people could be missing when they're setting up the app or they're having trouble connecting to their router. So that's, you know,
That's like, so that's right. That is true. That's one thing I gotta say, because you are the, no question about it, the first one I call. I love when I can call too. Like sometimes I'll get a phone call and then I'm calling Logan from my cell phone, all right? And I'm like, Logan, what's this problem? And he's just like, boom, 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 boom. It's like this. And then I'm like, hold on. And that's how I try to solve some of the problems. Sometimes I give his cell phone out more than I should, but he's right there and he's there to solve it. And I gotta say, that's why we did so much with Reef Breeders, and especially, I gotta say, the other thing is too, like what you guys came up with is the best bang for your buck. Like, how do you not go wrong with that? You know, like when you're building up something, like you have, so like I always feel like there's 3 tiers, right? There's 3 tiers. I feel like when you're building something, then I feel like that there's so much stuff that's just not good. Like the new world, all right? The new world of like in this industry is, if your product is terrible, guess what? Everyone out here is going to write a review and say, your product's terrible. Those days of selling a terrible product is over. Like, you have to sell a good product now. And then there's different tiers of, like, how you sell a good product. Like, this is a good one to get you going. Like, this is good. This will get you going. And then you got a mid-level. You got a mid-level, and this will really get you going. And then this is your high-end, your top of the top. And I feel like everything is kind of split that way, you know, and you can get somebody in there. Because you want to be like, oh, you want to go all the way down? You can go all the way high-end, but that's not for the everyday person. What I love is, like, what you did was you made the best bang for your buck. Like, you know, for what you're spending for $1, for your $1, this is going to work the best, so you can spend more money here on this to move forward on that. Was that your original plan? Like, or am I just overthinking it?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's definitely how, you know, it evolved to be. In the beginning, though, I mean, I was a DIYer. So I was like, I was about 13, 14 when I started Reef Breeders. And I couldn't afford really anything for my aquarium. What I was doing is I was working off of birthday money, Christmas money. So I had like this used tank that when I was driving along with my dad in his truck, and I saw an aquarium on the side of the road, I said, let's get that. And it had a sign for like $100 on it. So, you know, the guy gave it to me for like 75 and talked him down. So I set up like my first little 45-gallon tank, and then like going through that journey of like, I mean, the biggest expense for me, like, you know, I was able to pick up like a used cheap sump and like some old pump that I had to like slam into the bottom of the sump every now and then because it wouldn't start when I, you know, replugged it in. Then, you know, like you could find really cheap equipment like that, but I mean, when it came to lights, I mean, the cheapest I could find were like these old metal halide pens, and I mean, they worked, like they would grow my corals, but you know, when the summer came around, I mean, that year like our air conditioning went out, and you know, the room just got like boiling hot, and I would have to turn these lights off. Like they would be on for like maybe 2 hours a day, and the corals were starting to suffer. The tank temperature was too high. I had to run a fan going across the tank all day. So I mean, the first thing I did was I built my own lights. I got a kit from I mean, it was reefledlights.com. I mean, I'll give them a shout out. They definitely you know, helped me out. You know, getting
How
my
old
first
were you
kit
at this
together.
time?
I was like probably about 14 years old.
Yeah, messing around with the lights.
Yeah.
I can't even mess around. I can't even press buttons now. I'm like, what does this do? What does that do? You're over here like, watch what I do, like, sort of way. Where it went down that you built that, when you got into it, then you came out, you had the photons, the Gen 1s, and then...
So before that, I mean, like going way, way back, if some of you remember, I mean, like my value fixture. It's literally called the value fixture.
I remember that. I do remember that.
So, I mean, that was before like black boxes were a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like the term black box hasn't been around for more than like a few years. I feel, you know, when I was selling that, like that was like the first, you know, black box LED that was actually, you know, on the market. So that's, you know, that's kind of what I did was I found a manufacturer that can make a light with the right quality. And more importantly, you know, I did the research and I found out, you know, what colors make corals grow, what colors make your corals look good. You know, because they have these lights that are available, anybody could buy them. But I mean, you have your cool white and your like 460 nanometer blue, which just makes your corals look like brown. You know, it just doesn't have any of that color pop. So I redid the entire layout, you know, based on research, based on customer feedback. You know, and going through that, I mean, you know, I started with, you know, I just ordered in one light, and they sent me 3, and I was, you know, I had to pay for those other 2, so I kind of, you know, I had to flip them, and then kind of just went from there. I just grew it and grew it. You know, worked with new suppliers, found, you know, people who could design, you know, better quality lights, like lights with more features. You know, just kind of evolved.
How, now that you have the Photon V2s, and those have pretty much become the flagship, I feel like, of Reef Breeders, it really has. Do you feel like there's something new on the way? Do you feel like something's going to get changed? Do you feel like that, or do you feel like right now we're seeing kind of like, not the prime, but we've hit this little, like this wave of LEDs in the market right now?
I mean, that's a very good question. You know, I am working on a few different new things. I really don't like to
yeah, I know, I
put
get
that out there, but yeah, I mean, it seems to be going, the direction the market seems to be going is, it seems like LED lights are getting like smaller and smaller. So you have a lot of people, a lot of companies now that are offering lights that are, you know, about this big, which is great. I mean, they're nice, they're small, they're compact. But, you know, the direction that, you know, I've kind of always gone in is making the lights longer and longer. More so because, you know, you could have like a 6-foot tank with like 2 power cords. You know what I mean? So if you have smaller lights, you need like 4 lights, you need 4 power cords.
Yeah.
And kind of, you know, power cords are like, they're worth their weight in gold at this point. Like an outlet is worth like.
It really is. Like, remember the days like we were talking about the black boxes? Like, listen, I don't know, you guys. Some of you guys don't remember the days of black boxes. Granted, it wasn't that long ago, but I remember black boxes we had everywhere. It was like power cord, power cord, power cord. Now, like with like the V2, you got the like the 48 inch or the 42. You're just like beep, one shot and you're done. I totally agree with you on that. Like, that's one thing. Like, it is so, you know, valuable because I'd rather plug this in there and I'd rather plug that there. And there's nothing I hate worse than extension cords. Like, you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like, how do you, like, right now, like, do you feel like you're going to move the lights up to, like, a freshwater light? Actually, before we even jump to that, you know what I really want to know? And I'm sure most of you guys cares. When are you coming out with a bracket? Like, when is this going to happen? When do we think we're going to see the bracket?
Yeah, so, I mean, unfortunately, I got delayed on this project for months. You know, I had a supplier who, you know, promised they could get in a couple weeks. You know, stuff happens, whatever. I put down a deposit. I've had this deposit for, you know, months. So I'm working on getting that back, but in the meantime, we're working on a new supplier.
But
so that's what happened with that.
But it's just, still in the, like, you know, you're still moving it forward.
It's something that I'm working on. You know, and I thought I found the right supplier. Unfortunately, I don't. You know, if they could come through, that's great. But if not, you know,
is it tough when you're trying to pick something like that? Like, because when you want a bracket, right now you need a bracket designed especially for the V2, and now you want a bracket and you want to be able to put it on any tank like that design, you know, like, and then to mass produce it on top of that. So you must be so picky on like who gets it, like how to do this and move forward with it. Because you only probably want to do it probably one time. You don't want to make this multiple times.
Well, that's the thing. You know, if I get a supplier, they'll send me a sample. If it's on the quality that I would expect, you know, then I'll move forward from there. If not, you know, I'll tell them, you know, either improve it or, you know, I'll have to find another supplier. But yeah, I mean, I'll put an open call out. If you know, if you're into metalworking, if you're reliable, you could put out the quantity that I would need. Then yeah, I'd love to get it built, and I'd really love to get it built here in the USA too, if possible.
What's next? What are we looking at next? Do you have any new toys to come out?
Yeah, I got a couple. So I mean, right now I'm working on So I've been talking to a lot of people in the industry. A lot of people are going freshwater now, including myself. I have a little freshwater tank. So I might be working on something just for you freshwater guys, for those of you who have Planet tanks. I'm looking at a few options. Right now, the most important thing for me is finding the right layout and finding something that's of the right quality that's going to work well for a freshwater tank, and also come in at a affordable price.
Yeah, it's, I tell you,
sure.
you gotta think. Especially, I'm on the freshwater kick right now too. Like, I am on the rimless tank, with the Dragon Rock or the Sayuk Rock and the Spiderwood, and then the Crypts, the Java Fern, the Anubias. Like, there's a lot of easy growing plants out there, and it's a lot of fun. Like, I like looking at the nano stuff, and I didn't think I was gonna like the nano fish, but we got this new kid. We call him Freshwater Joe, and he's kind of got me into it. And I'm like, wow, like a 10-gallon tank is cool now. Like, I feel like
that's what I'm thinking.
It really is. Like, a 10-gallon tank is pretty sweet. What up? One of the things we get into is trade shows, all right? So, next weekend, Aquashella Dallas. Like, how much work is it for you to set up for, like, Aquashella Dallas?
Well, I'm a dry goods vendor. I mean, at first it took me like hours and hours to do the setup, and even still sometimes you'll find me setting up just like the last 10 minutes I put on like a little finishing touch before the show doors open. But I mean, I got it down pretty much to a science now. I could set this trade show up, tablecloth, banner, inventory, show tank in about an hour or so, depending on, depends on how many people come up and talk to me while I'm setting up. I mean, sometimes it stretches into a few hours, but if I sit there, I focus, and I'm not talking to anyone, about an hour.
That's my worst thing. I can't focus at all on a trade show. Like, I can't. You should see Chris. Chris is just like, focus, and I'm just like, look, a butterfly. Here I go. Here I go. Just walking away. There I go. Like, that's what I gotta say. Like, trade shows are probably my all-time favorite because I love talking to everyone. Especially, like, now, do you bring a lot of products when you go to, like, Aquashella Dallas? Is it just enough to kind of show it off? Or is it more for you to actually sell to?
A little bit of both. So for trade shows, I typically bring smaller items. I mean, for frag farmers, it's a bit of an exception. I could throw everything in my car, I could drive it down, no problem. But I was basically taking requests. So if you want me to bring a Photon V2, great, I can bring it, but you got to let me know beforehand, because I can't just bring like 4 of them. That's a ton of space. But like other trade shows, like Reef Dreams, for example, I just did in South Carolina as well. That one I always give out like coupon codes at the trade show, so you could get the show specials. If I don't have it with me, the guys at the warehouse will ship it out the next business day. So even when I'm on the road and I'm staying well past Monday, Tuesday, everything's gonna ship out on Monday. I got guys at the warehouse handling all that. So that's basically the way that I would handle stuff like that. And then I bring a lot of the smaller products, like smaller size-wise. So like the Reef Power RPMs I like to bring to trade shows. And I do everything like on show special. Basically the idea is, I sell stuff at trade shows, help promote the brand a little bit, get all the reefers out there like a good deal. You get to go home. You don't have to wait for it to ship. You get to go home with a brand new pump, brand new salinity checker, whatever. And it helps kind of recoup the cost of a trade show. I mean, they're expensive, right? You got to pay for the booth. You got to pay for hotel, food, car rental. You have to fly out there. If it's Dallas Reef Blues, I'm gonna end up flying out there. So that's basically what I do at trade shows. Is I try my best to do customer outreach, and then I'm happy if I break even.
That really is. I agree with you on that. I get what you're saying, because there's a lot that goes out there, but there's a lot of people you get to meet, and then it's cool. Like you meet somebody, and they come back to you. Like that's when I talk about, like, even, and it's so weird. I don't even talk about. I never worry about the person. Like, I never try to sell to anyone. I don't worry about the now sale. I just I'd rather get to somebody 60 days from now. And make sure they get what they want and they're happy with it. But just to introduce them to it and love it, because you want to be like, hey, this is what would work for you, and it might be not feasible what you're looking for now, but later on, this is probably where you're going to want to move to.
That's always been my policy when doing sales. I only sell people on things that they need or they can use in the moment. I'll have some people who are newer in the hobby. They come up, they check out like the Wi-Fi dosing pump, and they'll say, what is this? Don't really know like what a dosing pump is, and so I kind of explain like what a dosing pump is. Okay, do I need this? Well, how old is your tank? Only a couple months. I wait like 6 months to a year. Wait till your corals are starting to grow, and then come check us out. But You know, like, you know, stuff like that. I try to, you know, make sure I don't like to, you know, oversell. I want customers to be happy with the products they have, and I don't want them to feel, you know, any kind of like buyer's remorse or anything like that. You know, I want to make sure that you're happy with your purchase, you're happy with the product, and it's a good value for you.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. I'm super, man. I'm pumped. So keep on reefing. May 4th. Logan's one of our sponsors. It's going to be an absolute blast. If you guys haven't gotten your tickets yet, go on keeponreefingexpo.com. You guys can check out everything that's going on there. I believe that we're going to be releasing all the vendors' names right at the end of this month. We're kind of like waiting right to it. But we got all the sponsors, everybody else on there. You can get your tickets now. We have all the King Fairy days are sold out. We do have the pre-sales tickets where you can get in there tickets now. And then we also have the get in the hour early where you can get those deals that are just that first look, those first things. And that's all available right now. And don't forget, it's Groton, Connecticut, Groton Inn Suites. We did it last year. It was an absolute blast. It's cool because we got a full bar. And everything's right there. So many more people that are coming this year. And we actually opened up. Last year we didn't have the whole place. This year we have the entire place. Oh, so awesome. I'm pumped. Like, I am absolutely pumped. I think this year is going to be so epic because a lot of people took like a chance on it. They didn't know what to expect. This year they know what to expect, and now it's like going like beyond belief. And it's just crazy how much like work everybody's put into it. I mean, Bob Winfrey for all the raffles. Peter Cherek's been killing it for Reef News Network and really pushing it. He did all the website and everything like that. And Rachel Fogel from Reef Weeds. Listen, I didn't, like, you want to know the truth? I've done the absolute least. Everybody else has done all the work. Rachel Fogel is a beast. She's been, like, doing everything behind the scenes, so I got to give all of them crazy credit because they just want to give you a show that you're going to love, you're going to come to and have a blast and be like, yo, that was so much fun. And that's what we did last year, and I think we're going to kill it this year, and I can't wait. Is there anything else you want to add, brother?
Yeah, aren't you bringing on the ReefShine Guys after this?
Yeah, I'm gonna see you right now. Tim, you out there? Oh, let me see if you're right there. Why? What else are you bringing on?
Well, I mean, I think we kind of hinted at this in an earlier live video, but we do have something super cool for y'all at Keep On Reefing. We're gonna unveil something. I'm not gonna give out too many details, but it's gonna be big. It's gonna be heavy, and it's gonna be freaking awesome.
Wait, what are you
That's
doing?
all I can say. I can't tell you. That's it.
Who's that? Wait, you're unveiling something at that Keep On Reefing? What are you unveiling at Keep On Reefing?
It's just something. It's not a new product or anything. It's just something. It's really cool. All you reefers are gonna love it. Like
really?
That's it.
Oh, I don't even know what this is. Now I'm curious. Tim, where you at? Tim, come hang out with us for a second. Where you at? Now I'm curious if he's Tim. Where you hiding, my friend? Oh, you know what I didn't think about was I don't have my headphones on, so. Let's see if it works. I've hit the invite, Tim. I hit it on. If you don't see it, make sure you hit me an invite right now. Because I don't see you out there. Yes!
New tattoo.
Peter Jurek says, is it a new tattoo? Is that what we're going to
No, I got no tattoos.
Maybe
a Reef Breeder on my shoulder.
Would you do that? Would you tattoo Reef Breeders to you? Would you be
I'm not
like,
a big tattoo
Reef
guy,
Breeders?
but if I was to get a tattoo, yeah, I'd do Reef Breeders on my shoulder. Oh yeah, why not? That'd be pretty dope. The triggerfish.
Wait, is that what it is? I didn't realize it was a trigger. This whole time I've known you.
That was like one of my favorite fish when I was a kid.
So that's a trigger?
Yeah, it was.
Did any of you guys know that? Oh! What are you
What's
doing?
up?
What? What are you up to? What's happening over there, baby?
I was at the park with my son. We're enjoying a nice southern spring.
A nice southern spring. Listen, I'm considering it spring because it's 40 degrees out. When it's 40,
it's warm.
Warm up here.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel.
Well, I just got my son in the truck. We just packed up and left. We're playing in Sandbox. It's about 60 degrees today.
Oh, you just fancy. What do you guys, what's the big game plan? What do you guys got going on to Keep On Reefing? So you guys are heading up here. May 4th, ReefShine Guys, always a blast. Who's coming up? Are all you guys coming up?
All three of us are going to try to come.
I got all three of you? Oh, you guys must love us.
I know. We try. Last year, Seth and I couldn't make it. I really tried to go, but Jacob just headed up the road a day early. And I was like, I can't drive 700 miles by myself.
No, it was a blast. Jacob came up. His dad came up. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've got Aquashella Dallas, and we're going to make an appearance at Reefapalooza Orlando. Then we got a full month to focus on May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you. I'm pumped. I got Aquashella Dallas next weekend. I'm not going to Rap Orlando, but Chris the Tasman is going. You going?
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
Man,
I'm doing those 2 trade shows back to back.
you guys are beasts.
Shout out to the ReefShine Guys for
Yeah.
fucking some of my stuff over to Aquashella Dallas.
Oh, is that how you fit?
And,
Oh.
shout out to Peter Cherrick for.
It wasn't
fucking
easy
some
either.
stuff down in the RV too.
God,
You
that's
lost the
pretty-
cardboard box, by the way. We
The
had to take
cardboard
all
box?
your stuff out of the box and fit it in between the other boxes. So we owe you a box.
He owes you a box. It's just a box missing.
Just don't forget to bring my trade show stuff because my banner, my tablecloths in there. If I don't have that stuff, I'm gonna show up looking like, oh yeah.
I like how he's being so calm and collective. Like pretty much saying, "Don't mess this up for me." Like that's what he's saying.
I trust you.
Oh, I don't think we'll have a problem. We're
What,
going to rent a U-Haul.
Are you?
Yeah, well, just a trailer. We got enough truck to pull a trailer.
Wait, but when you guys go to Aquashella, you're renting it out?
Yeah.
Oh man, you guys aren't messing around.
No, we got to haul a lot of stuff down there, and Logan put us over our limit. That's what it was. His 2 boxes put us over our weight limit.
How big are those boxes? Are like these massive boxes?
No, it's just well, one of them's like can't see what I'm doing with my hands, but it's like what 3 by 12, 28 by 12 by 12. It's a 2 box of Photon 24 B2s. I know off the top of my head.
So it's totally fun. Yeah, I love the notes. You know why? This is one thing about Logan. He does not miss a dime. He knows how much is in there.
Yeah, he better check his inventory.
I know, that's what he's like. What do you guys got going on May 4th? What are we expecting? What are we expecting to see? You guys are going to come hang out with us. I think you guys are staying with Cherrick. What's the game plan?
Just same game plan as ever. Just come up and have a good party, have fun,
It is
enjoy
pretty
doing
fun.
what we do. You don't work
We
a day
have
in your
an awesome
life
time
when you
with you
love
guys.
do what you're doing.
No, we love it. We absolutely love it. We appreciate you guys coming up. I think this year is going to be an absolute blast. You didn't get to make it last year, so this year you get to. I think you guys are going to have a blast. So I'm glad Seth's coming up, too. Like, he's such a funny
The Wildcat. We've tamed the Wildcat a little bit. I wish you would have met him pre-2016.
Yeah, I did not. I've heard stories, though. I've heard many, many stories.
Yeah, he pretty much got. That's why they had the move Reefapalooza Orlando. It's because of Seth.
They did. Stop it. They had to move it because, yes, Seth. They had to change the location because of Seth.
Yeah, he got banned from that hotel for one unfortunate incident. Hasn't been there in 3 years. So Lou just said, we're just going to change the venue so Seth can come.
Yep, that's it. That's what they did. Well, I can't wait for next weekend at Aquashella now.
Oh, everything's bigger in Texas. We're going to go down there 2 by 2. And we're going to work. We got I'm a Reefer t-shirts now.
Yep.
We're carrying that brand. Shout out to Chris Klein for letting us do that.
Gotta love
So-
Chris Klein.
Yeah, that's pretty much why we had to get a trailer, because we have a lot of dry inventory now to go with our wet inventory.
Yeah, it's awesome, brother. It's awesome. Anything else you want to add tonight, man?
Well, Logan was talking about our little surprise that we got for you.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
Don't give him any details.
I don't even
No,
know.
I like the tease. I wanted to add to the tease.
I'm really curious. I have no idea. Like, I didn't even know you guys were doing anything. Now I'm like curious. So like, is people gonna love it? They're gonna be like, this is
Oh,
awesome.
Yeah, it's going to make people crowd around and stay around.
Really? Is it spicy?
Oh, that's amazing. Dude.
Oh man. Now I'm really curious.
Well,
All right.
just my one hint is, what do we do best?
Yeah, I agree. We cannot have, listen, we cannot have ice luges though, okay? There is kids involved, all right? No ice luges, okay? Keep
Yes,
that
sir.
in mind.
Yes, sir.
All right.
We'll keep it
I'm just
PG-13.
throwing that out there. Like, this is a family fun event.
Well, I can promise the fun.
I know you did. I know you did. All right, brother. I'm going to let you out of here. I'm going to see you a little bit. I'll see you next weekend. All right, man?
All right, peace.
Oh, next weekend with the ReefShine Guys. Anything else you want to add tonight, Logan? Anything else you're expecting? Anything new? Anything exciting come down from Reef Breeders? I am pumped, man. Like, it really is. So for me, it's Aquashella, and then keep on reefing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just working on doing a ton of trade shows right now. Like, that's my main focus is, keeping everything in stock, keeping on the road, keeping everything organized. That's one of the biggest challenges, is like trying to run a business on the fly. It's just being everywhere. So that's this month is going to be a little bit crazy. Like Aquashella Dallas and Reef Palooza are the two, those I have to fly out for, and then Reef Dreams I flew out for too. So it's kind of like, this is about a 5-week period. I've gone to 4 different places. 3 of them I had to fly out to, and then I'm gonna have a nice little break before Keep On Reefing. That's it. I'm working on some like nano LEDs that are like actually really, really cool. Some Refugium lights, a few other things in the works. I'm always working on something.
No, it's awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. Matt, I saw that most of us are staying at the Groton Suites. There's also the Days Inn is in the same parking lot. It's all right there. It's like one giant. There's a bunch of hotels and motels right on that whole strip. And what's also cool about the show is you got Mystic Aquarium literally down the street. It's the next exit over, and then you got downtown Mystic, which is an absolute blast. And then so that's all Saturday. And anybody that's coming up from Little Ways, if you're staying up 2 days, on Sunday, we're going to do an after party here at the OSA. So anybody that wants to come up, we're going to do a big after party here. You're more than welcome to as well. But it is an absolute blast. Saturday is a blast, and you can't miss it. Anything else at all, brother?
That's it.
All right, guys.
Keep on reefing.
We're getting out of here. Keep on reefing. Make sure you guys go get your tickets right now at keeponreefingexpo.com. Make sure you join us. And don't forget to check out Reef News Network. See what Peter Cherrick's got going on the podcast. All right, guys. I'm getting out of here with Logan. Keep on reefing, baby. Woo!